So I react to a lot of horror content, but honestly, some of the scariest stories I listen to are true stories, and they're narrated by Spooked. He's got the perfect execution, one of my favorite narrators on YouTube. We're gonna check out 2 true horror stories from him today, you guys. Make sure to go ahead, check his channel out, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell if you like reaction videos. Make sure to subscribe to my channel as well. Let's get into this reaction.
This happened a couple of years ago.
Ooh, nice house.
We used to live in a small house in the mountains.
All right.
The only neighbor we had wasn't that close from our home.
It's not a small house, but
so there was basically no one around. This
Yeah,
happened on
no
a
neighbors.
Sunday when my daughter, who was 13, coming for the weekend. She used to sleep upstairs,
Okay.
and my bedroom was downstairs.
Maybe she was with her mom or something.
One night, I was in the living room watching TV when I decided to go outside to contemplate the stars. The thing is
stargazing?
that I had to let my door half open because there's only one
used to do
handle
that all
inside
the
the
time.
house, and the other side of the door could only be opened with a key, so there was no handle from outside.
Yeah, it's like flat.
I contemplated the stars for about 5
I really
minutes
like that design,
when I
but
felt like I could smell a weird smell. I couldn't really make out what it smelled like,
weird smell.
but my best description would be that it was just unfamiliar. I thought nothing of it and just went back inside.
Maybe a distant neighbors are
It was
burning
really
something.
late, so I decided to go back to sleep. I woke up at 6 a.m. It was extremely hot inside, and for some reason, I could still smell what I smelled the night before. So I decided to
Is
open the
something
window.
Electrical?
I was standing up
burning or
at the
something?
edge of the window. Suddenly, I felt like a hand was pushing me in my back. I got pushed down from my window by someone.
What?
There was only me and my daughter in my house, and I got pushed out
Apparently
of my own house
not.
by a stranger, and my daughter was still inside.
What the
I fell
hell?
down and just kind of tumbled down in the bush outside my window.
Right.
Since the window was closed, I couldn't open the front door because I didn't have the keys. I knew that my neighbor was a locksmith, so I subsequently rushed to his house, woke him up at 6 a.m., and explained the situation to him.
So this was at 6
He took his
a.m.?
stuff and came with me to my house. Now, I'll tell you what my daughter told me.
Okay.
She told me that she could hear an old man coughing and that she didn't recognize the cough. So she instantly went into the bathroom, locked the door of the bathroom, and turned on the tap while she was calling the police. My neighbor managed to open the door. We rushed upstairs.
Was there an intruder?
Whilst going upstairs, I saw that a knife was missing from my knife set in the kitchen.
Oh, damn.
I went upstairs and saw that the door of my daughter's bedroom was open. We turned on the lights and saw an old man with a hood, holding one of my knives, waiting in front of the bathroom door.
Can you imagine?
My neighbor and I beat the living shit out of him and waited until the police came.
You charged him with a
The man
knife?
got arrested, and the week after that, we moved into another county.
Holy crap. Dude, you can't charge somebody with a knife, but honestly,
We live in a two-story
it's
house,
really hard,
and my
man.
husband and I stay on the first floor. My in-laws' bedrooms are on the ground floor.
hey, look at it and get
My
stabbed.
husband and father-in-law are both corporate lawyers by profession.
Okay.
He looks after all the work, as my father-in-law is now a retired person.
Mm-hmm.
But people often visit him for various legal suggestions.
Yeah.
So we were used to
I
seeing
got
unknown
attorney
people
friends
at
that I
our
talk
house.
to as well sometimes.
Also, for the same
Free legal
reason,
advice,
our house had a gatekeeper for security purposes. It was back then when my son was only
gatekeeper.
5 months old. One day, after finishing my lunch and putting my baby to sleep, I went to the balcony to relax.
Right.
Our house is situated on a wide alley that connects to the main road. All I could see from our balcony was a wide, empty alley and our sleepy gatekeeper sitting outside the main gate. I sat on a recliner and got busy on my phone.
So it's like a
I had no idea how
complex
long I was
gate.
on my own, and as I gazed outside towards the alley, I saw a woman standing under the roadside tree. Though her face wasn't clearly visible, I could tell she was staring at me.
Huh.
I ignored her, thinking of some random woman passing by our house. I got back to the phone again.
You're on a balcony.
After a couple
so
of minutes,
you notice
I looked
stuff,
up again. She was still standing
was
there
still
in the
staring?
same manner.
but-
Even though the woman realized I can see her clearly, she didn't move an inch or looked away.
Yeah, that's scary,
There's nothing
dude.
much I could do, as she was just outside our property.
Right.
So I
Can't
went
call the cops
inside
if
and
somebody's
closed the
staring
balcony
at you.
door. The next day, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
I fell asleep in the afternoon. A A sudden call from my mother-in-law woke me up.
Okay.
I went downstairs. She surprisingly said that she saw a woman a few moments back. I quickly walked to the main door and opened it. This time, the woman was standing inside the house lawn.
Wow.
She was looking straight up to my room. Her eyes were surrounded by dark spots, as if she hadn't slept for a while.
Oh my.
Her clothes were old and rusty. She looked like a homeless person.
She was crazy.
But her eyes were still and sharp.
Yeah.
She freaked me out, so I shouted out, "How did you come inside?" She didn't say anything and just kept standing there. I got furious at the gatekeeper.
Just call the cops.
I locked the door and went to get my phone to call the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I shouted over the call and asked him to come immediately. He came running, and I told him how he could let an unknown woman enter our house without asking for our permission.
Right.
The gatekeeper gave me a perplexed look, and he said he didn't see any woman near our home the entire day. Also, the gate was locked the whole time. The incident was very creepy and mysterious to me. At night, when my husband came home, I told him about this woman stalking us. He expressed a little disbelief at first, but then blamed all of it on the gatekeeper's irresponsible nature. I was worried,
maybe?
but after a couple of weeks, nothing really happened, and I kind of forgot about that woman amidst all of this.
Okay.
That is until one day, I was busy in the kitchen downstairs.
Right.
Suddenly, I heard my son whimpering. I went upstairs to check on him, and as I entered the room, my heart froze to death. A cold wind rushed down my spine. I felt I was going to collapse at that very moment.
Maybe it was supernatural.
She is standing near my son's crib.
Oh no!
With her lifeless, horrifying stare. She was staring down on my son's face.
It's not supernatural.
A heavy breath came out of my mouth.
It's for real.
And that's when she looked right at me. At that moment, my blood ran cold, and I was basically paralyzed with fear. She suddenly sprinted towards the door and left.
What?
I took my child in my arms and went back upstairs to call 911. I told the cops everything, and they said they were on their way. I then heard my husband's car arriving and started shouting for help. I told everything to my husband and my father-in-law. This time, they couldn't shake it off seeing my condition and telling them about what just happened. The cops eventually came a few moments later and started patrolling around the house and the neighborhood.
You'd be panicked. Who would
They
not
found
believe
no one,
you?
though.
You'd be hysterical.
We all started sleeping in 2 adjacent rooms downstairs. After that, none of us saw that woman again. A few moments later, when I was cleaning my father-in-law's study, I came across many old local newspapers. I read shocking news.
How the heck did she get
10 years back, a homeless woman committed suicide on the roadside tree near our house. Some people said that her husband kicked her out for mental health issues
supernatural
and left this town, taking her newborn baby.
Oh,
the woman kept wandering off.
God, dude, I got the creep so bad.
Her eyes kept looking for her baby. Out of pain and despair, one day she hung herself. To this day, I still get goosebumps thinking she wasn't looking at her house or
I just did
me.
spooked.
She wanted to have my baby.
Oh my God, dude. You know, I kind of thought it was supernatural. Then the way he said lifeless stare. Lifeless body staring. I didn't know it was literal. It was just the way she looked, like he described her at the beginning. But God, when I found out it was super, oh my God, dude, hair stood on end. That was so good, man. Yo, make sure to check out Spooked and a couple other videos that are reacted to by him. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.